Hi everyone, my name is Brittany Carey. I am a life and health coach. Today we'll be talking about self-care, but not in the sense that you have seen it in other YouTube videos or social media posts. We're going to be talking about the self-care that really cares for your emotional state, your mental state, and spiritual state, all of the inside stuff, not necessarily like the physical appearance of like skin scrubs and hair masks and all of those things. And self-care is super important. It's in all of my coaching programs, but especially in my Mom Surviving to Thriving program that I will be providing in the next few weeks. But it's always important to make sure that that's a priority in your life. So if you want to hear more about those kinds of self-cares, taking care of your mental state and emotional state, then keep watching. Two things I want to mention about self-care before we start getting into those tips and specific details that you could be doing. First would be to schedule it. If you have a hard time actually committing to specific time for yourself, plan it out in advance. That way you have that to look forward to, especially in like stressful times when it's just like it seems like one thing after the other. You can always just be like, okay, this is something I'm going to just try and relax from on Sunday at 2 o'clock. Like, just make sure it's on the schedule and it's a priority, just like all the other things that you have on your calendar. And the second thing, which is super important because I feel like this is being completely missed in all of the other like self-care videos, everything is just missing the consistency. Self-care is great, but it needs to happen more than on Sundays. It needs to happen more than once a week. It should be happening minute by minute, day by day. You should be checking in with yourself, making sure that you're being taken care of, that you're being fed well. It is so important because I feel like if you have a great, like, relaxing 20 minutes on a Sunday night, that's going to be great for Sunday night. But it's not going to last you all the way through the week until next Sunday night. I just don't see that happening, especially when you have so many other things going on in your life. So you should be really making it consistent. And I know what you're thinking, Brittany, I can't spend 2 hours a night on my nighttime routine every night. I'm not asking you to. Just look at the rest of the video because we're going to be explaining more things to do than blocking out 2 hours and taking a bubble bath. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All of the things that I'll be mentioning in this video, keep it consistent. You should be doing it every single day, if not more than once a day. So the first tip of self-care, in my opinion, is feeding yourself. I know it sounds simple, and I know it's like, okay, well, duh, I have to eat. But it's not about how much you're eating. It's about what you're eating. It's about how you're like expecting your body to be fueled. If you eat 2 bacon cheeseburgers and a large fry, you're going to be feeling like that. That's not taking care of yourself. It may be satiating you for a certain amount of time. It might be, serving a craving. But you can't expect your body to be fueled off of that one meal. So have it in mind every single meal, everything you drink. Is this nurturing for my body? Is this taking care of my body? Am I expecting this, what I'm intaking, to fuel me for the next however so minutes or hours? Keep that in mind, and that goes back to it being consistent. You should be thinking about this consistently throughout the day. It would be great if you had like one great breakfast, but then if you have the rest of the day eating snacks or chips or fried foods or things like that, it's not going to make that much of a difference. You have to keep it consistent. So consistently think about what you're feeding your body and what you want from the food that you're eating. The next tip is to setting and maintaining boundaries. This is a tough one, guys, especially for people pleasers like us, where you just want to, keep the peace, like, oh, everything's fine, it's cool. That's not self-care, y'all. That is caring for others, which is always great, but you can't pour from an empty cup. If you feel like you're constantly being taken from, you're not going to have anything left to give yourself, your kids, your spouse. So really, you have to set those boundaries, whether that's with friends, co-workers, family. Set the boundaries and maintain them. That's the hard part. Having that initial conversation of, I don't want to be called after this time during the night, is hard enough to have on its own. But if that friend keeps breaking that boundary, that maintaining boundary conversation might be even harder. So whatever the boundary is, whether that's not wanting to be spoken to at a certain level or not wanting to have certain conversations with people, you got to set the boundary. You have to, because that is going to be draining to you, and whether you realize it at that moment or not, it's going to be affecting you in some sort of way. So setting and maintaining boundaries is the next tip of self-care. Get your heart rate going. Exercise. Go for a walk. Do some jumping jacks. Do a jump rope. Something to get your heart moving and get that blood flow going, whether that's in the morning or in the middle of the day. I have to work out at night now, but just at some point during the day, get that heart going. Make sure you feel what your body's meant to be doing. Our bodies are made to move. So let them move. Appreciate the fact that you are able to move, as a lot of people don't have that privilege. So that's a huge step, and to make that consistent. If you work out once a week, then that's all you can do. Great for you. Good job. At least you're doing that. But the more consistent you can get with making your body move, the better. Try to exercise 7 days a week. And I'm not saying spend 2 hours in the gym every day. I'm just saying move your body. Go take a 10-15 minute walk if that's all you can do, or just do some jump rope, play tag with your kids. That's exhausting enough, especially if you have a fast kid like mine. So just get your heart going and try to make it as consistent as possible. The next is to hydrate. Drink your water, drink your water, drink your water. I will put this in every single video if I have to. Water is so important, or at least just hydrate, whether that's like Gatorade, or if you find something else that just really hydrates your body, do that. Make that a priority. Be consistent with it. If you drink water and only water for 1 day of the week, that's great if that's all you can do at the moment, but try to do more. Try to make it every day. I know for so long, and I'm still really struggling with this, I was doing great with drinking my water Monday through Friday, because those are pretty stable days. Not much changes, it's like work, bedtime, dinner, everything stays pretty much the same. But Saturdays and Sundays, I was really struggling because no one weekend was the same. So I made a priority. I'm sticking to it the best I can. And it's really just baby steps. Try to do it as consistent as you can. I'm not saying go all in. And if you're not a water drinker, then, go from nothing to 100 in 1 week. That's not really reasonable. So drink as much water as you can. Keep it as consistent as you can. This is probably my favorite, which sounds really bad because I'm a coach and I love communicating with people, and I am a people person. I love having conversations with people, but turning your phone off is so liberating. It's different. It's different, especially in this day and age where almost all of the conversations I have with people outside of my home is through my phone. I don't go to work. My kids don't go to school at the moment. So it's like literally if I talk to anyone outside of my husband and my kids, it's through my cell phone. But disconnecting is so peaceful. It feels so good. You're not going to miss out on anything. If you feel like you have to let someone know, hey, I'm going to be turning off my phone. If you need to reach me, call this number or email me here. Then by all means do that. Don't ever put yourself or any of your loved ones at risk of, worrying about where you are. And I'm not saying do this all day. I don't know what your situation is. Not everyone can have their phone off all day, but even if it's for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, either every day or every few days, it's going to do something to your mind where it's just like, it's just peaceful. That's the best way I can explain it, because you're not focusing on so many different things. A lot of the time, I find myself a phone in one hand and whatever I'm doing in the other, whether that's cooking dinner or preparing something for my kids, helping my kids with something, I'm doing that in one hand with my phone in the other, which is a horrible, horrible habit. And that's something else that we'll be talking about in my mom's Surviving to Thriving program. But it's so mind relaxing to have your phone off and to not have to worry about missing a call or a text message or, some kind of direct message or anything like that. So definitely try that. If nothing else, try that tip consistently. So as much as you can, like I said, not everyone can have their phone off either for work or personal reasons all the time. But just try it. See how you like it. Everyone's different. That could just be one thing that I like and everyone else is like, okay, that sounds really dumb. But just try it. You never know how something is going to be unless you try it. So that's another one. Reading a book instead of... Okay, audiobooks are great. I'm just one of those people that need to have it like in my hand, because if I don't have it in my hand, I'm going to be doing something else while I'm trying to listen, and I'm going to be like half doing both of those things, which I don't love. So reading a book is splendid, especially in like just a quiet house. Like I always, after my kids go to bed, that's my favorite time to read, because it is just quiet. I don't have to have my ear open for anything else that's going on. I can just focus on the book and really have it nurture the soul even more than if I'm just like kind of like half reading, half listening to if my kids are fighting or not. You know what I mean? Okay. Meditate is a great one, whether that's in the morning or at night, even if it's just like for 5 or 10 minutes. Clear out your mind, have that kind of like peace, slow down. That is really, really great. A great form of self-care to make sure that you are keeping kind of like that balance. Like no one can go 24/7 with their mind racing. That is exhausting. I've been there. And meditating in that morning, even if it's just 5 minutes, which is really all I can do most of the time because my kids are just early risers, it makes a difference, because it just gives you that peace of mind and that good start off to the day. If you start off on like that calm note, I find that it's just easier to take the day on as it goes than it would normally if you just like jump out of bed and right into momming or working or whatever you have going on that day. And then the last thing, this might be my favorite. I don't know. Can I have two favorites? I'm going to have two favorites. Okay, so this is my second favorite. Car ride with music, and just music, no kids. This is a tough one, especially for any single moms out there, because like, what are you going to do with your kids when you're in the car? Figure it out. I promise it's worth it. Like, pay the babysitter for an hour and just drive. Don't have a direction. Don't look at Google Maps. Nothing. Put on your favorite playlist. Just drive and enjoy the music, because it's a stress reliever. It really calms you, especially if, like, let's say you had a really long day with the kids and they're just so loud and so all over you, and your spouse walks in the door and you just walk out and you go get in the car and you drive and you listen to your music, and even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes around the block, I promise it's going to make a difference, and you're going to come back a lot more clear-minded, because let's face it, kids will be kids. They're gonna be loud. they're gonna be right up behind you all the time. At least most days. At least mine are. So you can't really. It's not like, I don't know. I kind of want to say it's like not their fault that they are being the way that they are. So you don't want to take it out on them, but at the same time, like, bro, I need a break. Like, it's too much if you do it all the time. So if you have that kind of 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes just pulled away from that, it's going to be changing. And even if, because it used to be like, my husband would come home and he would just take the kids out for a walk, or that sounds funny, but take them out for a walk, and it would just be different because I'm still home and I'm still in that same 4 walls that I've been in all day. So just getting outside and driving, seeing new things, it's really a game changer on those tough days. And all of this, I believe, is self-care. It's self-preservation, taking care of yourself, self-love. And it is so important and does not need to be only once a week. It does not need to take 2 hours each thing. I mean, most of these things on here, it's under 30 minutes. I don't really think any of these are going to take longer than that. I mean, maybe preparing a meal for yourself, especially ones that your kids aren't going to eat, because then that's like all food like just for you, and that's really hard to do as a mom, to just do something that you know is only going to benefit you. But that's self-care, doing something that benefits only you. That is self-care, taking care of yourself, which is so important. And it's really great, and you don't understand really all of the values, I think, until you start doing it consistently. You can do it once a week, and that could be really great for you, but if you do it more than once a week, every day, every couple of days, you're gonna see a huge difference in your mental state, in your emotional state. So just make it a priority, like you make everything else a priority. You make your kids a priority, you make your husband a priority, you make dentist appointments, doctor's appointments, school appointments. All of these things are up here, and I feel like us as moms, or even human beings in general, all of the things that we need for ourselves are like down here. I would go lower, but the camera can't see. So it's just different. And it's important to put yourselves up here just with all the other things that you have going on in your life. So I hope this video was helpful. Like, comment, tell me what you want to do for self-care. What are your things that you like to do to wind down or prepare for the day or take care of yourself? I love to hear more suggestions. I know this can't be it. These are things I do, and I know that that's not all that's out there. So drop a comment below. Tell me what you like to do. Like, subscribe if you like my videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.